Thanks to the support as a channel member, Doodle McDoo. I'm not saying the board here at Wembley have lost their mind, but they've just taken out a mortgage to give me even more transfer money to spend. £150 million January transfer spree incoming. Hello and welcome to part 149 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a top-of-the-table clash with Manchester City, plus January transfers. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. We've just won lots of football matches, not lost since that Tottenham game in the last episode. There's been a couple of draws here and there, but largely it's been lots of winning, which means at the halfway point of the Premier League season, we're 2 points behind Manchester City in second place in the Premier League. We're also top of the Champions League and already qualified for the knockout rounds, and looking very good for obviously that top 8 finish. Just one more point needed to guarantee the top 8 finish and the skipping around thing. But yeah, the board have taken out a mortgage loan, specifically to give me more transfer money, which seems insane, bearing in mind that they could have used that money to clear the debt. No, they gave it to me. Fair enough. I didn't really need it either, because we had a number of players who've decided they've had enough. Raul Salaver decided that he wasn't getting enough football, which is fair. In his year and a half at the club, he's only started 13 league games. To be fair, only scored 6 league goals. But for a player we signed for £15.5 million, we've sold for £46.5 million to Atletico at 28 years old as well. So that to me seems like a really good piece of business. We've also got Everett looking to leave because he wants game time. So he's going to be going out on loan, I think. Ander Diaz wants to leave. We brought him back from his loan after kind of deciding we didn't need him in the summer. And then once Starrico was fit again, we didn't really need him like we decided in the summer. So we're going to try and sell him as well. And with those 3 leaving, we've got these 2 coming in. So the new striker is going to be Alessandro Pedone. He's a 26-year-old Italian international. He's 6'4", quick and a decent finisher. And look at his goal scoring record in Serie A since joining Fiorentina. This is a guy who scores goals, and he is a big boy. And I think we're just going to go with him and Gundo as the 2 strikers. Brian can play up front, Renault can play up front, but I don't think we need 3 first team quality strikers, like out and out strikers, for a team that only plays with 1 up front. So to replace the other striker that's leaving, we've gone back to Brentford again. We're just signing Brentford's entire attack. After bringing in Gundo and Brian in the summer, we're now paying £75 million to bring in their number 10, Alfredo Salinas, who's a 24-year-old Argentinian attacking midfielder, international footballer. Yeah, he's just going to come in and compete with Ansong as a new attacking midfielder for us. It means the balance in the squad in our attack is probably a little bit better now, rather than having 3 strikers and only 1 attacking midfielder and then having to play other like strikers there when Ansong wasn't available. We're now going to have 2 proper strikers, a couple of guys who can cover there if need be, and then 2 proper attacking midfielders with guys who can cover there if need be. I think we can just let Diaz go without replacing him, because Burrows was effectively already the replacement for Diaz when we brought him in back in the summer, and once he's played 20 games, he joins us permanently anyway. He's also learning to play left back, so pretty soon he's going to be our cover on both sides. So I don't think we need to replace Diaz because we've already done it. All that being said, this is the team for the game against Manchester City. We win here, we go top of the Premier League, which would be jolly, jolly nice. So the team is Kudo in goal, back from Gleedle, Ulbricht, Starrico and Da Costa. Mane is away on international duty. We've reached that time again when all our African players go off on international duties. So that's BIE, Mane and Gessen. I think it's only the 3 of them now. We've slimmed down the number of African players we've got in the team. Mane's the only regular starter who's gone. I guess Gessen as well plays quite a lot, but I don't think we'll suffer as much as we did last time. Ulbricht, perfectly good enough to deputise at centre-back, as is Rath. So Gleedle, Ulbricht, Starrico, Da Costa at the back, Tung and Sabatino in midfield, Bahari, Ansong and Brian then behind Gundo up front. And Gundo is starting to score lots of goals. I think I described him in the last episode as not particularly prolific. 19 goals from 22 starts in all competitions, 12 goals from 13 starts in the Premier League. Earlier in the season, we were rotating him in the Premier League with Evra. Not so much, which is why Evra now wants to leave. Obviously, once Pedone comes in a couple of days' time, there's going to have to be a little bit of rotation again. So we're going to have 2 very, very good goal-scoring strikers then. but that's a nice problem to have. And Stariko demonstrating that he can just pick up where Mane left off and score the near post corners. Beautiful stuff. Less than 3 minutes on the clock. And don't underestimate how good Gundo's corners are. He puts them on a sixpence almost every time. It's not that we've had a massive upgrade in the players on the end of them. We've got a massive upgrade on the guy taking the corners, and his in-swingers are absolutely lethal. He's only got 12 for his corner taking. I mean, we've seen the evidence of it over the last couple of episodes. He's probably better than 12 on his corner taking. But that 1-0 lead, very, very welcome. As you can see, does put us top of the league. You can also see that Newcastle and Chelsea, the two Vincent Kompany teams, both starting to recover after an iffy start to the season as well. So I expect them to be very much involved in this title race as well. But we want to go top of the league now and just stay there. We want to have the league wrapped up with 5 games to go and be able to focus on the Champions League at the end of the season. We want the perfect end to what has been arguably one of the best series I've ever done. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments section. How does this compare to Non-League to Legend, to stuff like Home, Nuneaton, Tour, the Apollon series, some of the big series we've done over the years? This one is probably, I think it's the second longest series I've ever done in terms of episodes. I think it's the only series I've ever done that's gone over 20 in-game seasons. So it's been a little bit of an epic. Certainly, lived up to the expectation I had at the start, I think. Very much enjoyed it, but would like to end it. It can't be considered the greatest series ever unless it ends right. So it needs to end with that Premier League win, that Champions League win that I keep going on about. Tottenham, by the way, were very recently top of the league. They've got a negative goal difference. I don't understand how you can have a negative goal difference. Look at the goal difference of the 4 teams above them. How? How were they on a negative goal difference? Absolutely baffling. Right, it's corner o'clock again. This time it's going to be Gleedle from the other side, hitting that in-swinger, and Stariko's there again, but he can't make proper contact this time. It comes back to Sabatino. Brian, back to Sabatino again. Ulbricht's going to shoot from the edge of the area here, and can't keep it on target, but that would have been a spectacular goal. Newcastle actually leapfrogging both us and Manchester City as things stand, so all the more reason for us to need to go on and pick up the victory. Diaz is going to come on for a very tired Stariko, who's still recovering from his injury. Christodoulou's going to come on in midfield. We've got a lot of tired legs. It's that time of year, and we'll bring Williams on, the former Manchester City man, on the left-hand side of the attack as well. Brian also now tiring, so he's going to come off in a minute, but we're going to give him one last opportunity to conjure up a little piece of magic. Gives it to his former Brentford teammate Gundo, who just turns, runs. Decent effort from range. I mean, it looked kind of straight at the keeper-ish, but the keeper really struggled with it, so I don't know if he was just unsighted. Their keeper looks massive, by the way. We need to look at how tall he is. He's enormous. Gundo actually getting on the end of a corner there is an interesting one. That seems like a little bit of a miscalculation on our part when we've got, I mean, I guess we've not got Stariko on the pitch. We don't have a big dominant centre-back, so Gundo is, he's a big boy with decent jumping reach, so I guess, yeah, aim at him, but then we're not having him take the corners, which does seem problematic. Right, we don't have a striker to bring on for him. We're still waiting for him to arrive. So in that, I mean, we are low on players. Renault is going to come on, so Williams can swap back over to that side. I guess Lip is going to come on. We've barely used Alexander Lip since bringing him in. This is only his 3rd league appearance. It shows how desperate we're getting with the players off at the African Cup of Nations. And a couple of injuries, and obviously Salaver's now left the squad, and we don't have the new boys in yet. We've got 2 boys about to arrive on the 1st of January, but this has been a little bit disappointing. So still only 2 points behind the 2 teams above us, but we've dropped a place. We've missed an opportunity. If we're going to win the league, we've got to win matches like that. That's a little bit of a shame. Let's go beat Brighton. So, ready for the Brighton game. The 2 new boys have arrived. Pedone is in. He's our new number 10. And also, where is he? Salinas is in. He gets the number 26 shirt. He's not fully match fit. Brentford not rotating their players properly. We have a bit of a problem because Rob Williams has had an offer accepted from Leipzig because of his minimum fee release clause. We've scrambled around and offered him a new contract, but he's basically now going to have the decision whether or not to sign for us or sign for them. If he does go, we've got our replacement already lined up anyway. 18-year-old Brazilian Felipe, who's got massive potential, wanted by all the big clubs and Tottenham, and we'll just draft him into the squad. It'll be fine, but it is a downgrade when we're trying to upgrade. Long term, it's probably an upgrade, but I'd like to keep Williams around, please. So this is the team for the Brighton game. Kudo in goal, a back four of Gleedle, Ulbricht, Starrico and Burrows, Tung and Sabatino in midfield, Bahari, Ansong and Williams behind Gundo up front. We will get at least Pedone on during the match. Maybe Salinas can wait until he's actually match fit. Obviously, needs must because of African Nations Cup and injuries. He's got to at least sit on the bench, but in an ideal world, we rest him up a little bit before exposing him to the first team. But, I mean, we've got 3 of the 4 of Brentford's attack now. We might as well go and get the other one at some point. I don't know who the other one is. I guess they've got a left-sided one that we can go and grab. Right, there is Buhari, who's the reason we don't need to go and grab another left-sided player. And now Tung from midfield tries to slot it into Williams. Williams goes past his man and scores, and we don't want to lose Rob Williams. He has he's been excellent for us since first arriving on loan, 2-3 years ago. And although he's not a nailed-on regular starter now because of Buhari and Brian, he's first reserve on both wings. We want to keep him here. So I guess the decision for him will be, are Leipzig going to guarantee him regular first team football? Because if they do, then that might then become a more attractive option. But he's got the opportunity to win things with us. He's already won a few things with us. He can win a few more things if he sticks around. So hopefully he wants to win things. Ansong with the throw finds Gundo, the injured Bahari, and gives it to Starrico. And we're probably going to have to take Bahari off at half time. We don't really have anyone to come on for him. I don't want to throw Pedone on after 10 minutes of the match in a weak position. So I guess we'd move Gundo out wide if we did bring Pedone on. We'll probably bring him on at half time. I just don't want to rush him in a non-ideal situation. We've spent a lot of money and had a lot of hopes on big, exciting strikers over the last 3 or 4 years. And the fact that Anton Canerva's still the striker in our all-time best 11 shows that our track record hasn't been great. Gundo's definitely been the pick of the bunch, I think, certainly based on his early form here at Wembley. And he's picked the ball up there and trying to add to his ongoing tally, but not able to apply the finish. But Pedone, looking at that goal scoring record, could be the one. We've been here before. Bahari bursts into the area, finds Gundo, and there is a 20th goal of the season for Gundogu. Whatever is that's why we call him Gundo. Don't know how to say his name. I struggle with Turkish names. Bearing in mind, I've done a whole save in Turkey this year on Twitch and LOLLUJO too. Still really struggle with the Turkish names. No idea. Absolutely no idea how you say his name. Chetin? Not sure. That's the last time I'll ever try. Right, 2-0 up. What are Manchester City doing? Manchester City are 4-1 up over Bournemouth, so they're keeping the pressure on. Newcastle drawing with Crystal Palace, though, would be a good result for us if it ends like that there. We are going to take Bahari off, and we will bring... Oh, we've got Renault on the bench. Why was my assistant manager trying to get me to bring Pedone on? I mean, I guess he can play wide. No, we bring Renault on. Pedone's going to come on up front. Renault can come on the left-hand side. I assumed that Renault... one day I'll pick... Oh, I'm never going to pick my own bench. But if I'd have realised Renault was there, we'd have made that change earlier, because that's an easy change to make. Right, I think we probably bring Pedone on with 20 to go then. I think that's the idea. Ease him in gently. If we score a third, we'll make the change straight away. But otherwise, we'll give him the last 20 minutes. Just let him ease himself into the Premier League. Presumably doesn't speak any English. Haven't checked. And that's lovely work from Burrows. That's why he's getting the nod over Diaz consistently now. And I'm going to be very happy when his move becomes a permanent one, because he's been excellent since coming in, to the point where he quite regularly starts ahead of Da Costa now. Those two are properly rotating, and it definitely helps that Burrows is homegrown in England as well, which certainly helps with Champions League registration stuff. That does make my decision about changing the striker a little more complicated, because it gives us a little bit more work to do. 2-1 up. It's the only shot on target Brighton have had in the match, but we've got 20 minutes to go, and I don't want to rock the boat too much. Right, Gleedle can come off. Diaz can come on for him, but he's not going to play that role. That's silly. Let's get him doing I mean, he likes to be a fullback on automatic. He can be a fullback on automatic. Renault, obviously, staying on Ansong. Do we bring Salinas on for Ansong and give him a little run out? Just have a look at him? Maybe we do. We give him 20 minutes. Because Ansong, not having the best of games. Maybe Salinas is going to come on and pull all the strings. He'll already have a relationship with Gundo from their time together at Brentford. So that's advantageous. And then with 10 minutes to go, I think we can take off him, bring Pedone on. Gundo goes out onto that side. And then for the final change, Christodoulou on for Tong. Easy. Easy peasy. We've got decent strength in depth here these days. I enjoy it very much. What I'd enjoy even more is seeing Pedone grab the third goal. Although, I think we've learned a lot over the last couple of seasons about players that score on their debut end up being disappointing long term. So maybe it's for the best if he doesn't. Good work from Salinas to win the ball back. Gundo picking the ball up. Gives it to Christodoulou. It's back with Gundo again. It comes to Burrows on this right-hand side. Cross comes in, looking for Renault. Can't find him at Pedone. All 6'4" of him. Picks the ball up, lays it off to Renault. Salinas is there. And Alfredo Salinas scores on his debut. Lovely, lovely, lovely. £150 worth of new talent on the pitch in this match. And they've combined there to, as the commentary so rightly points out at the bottom of the screen, put the game beyond doubt. Beautiful stuff. We just needed Man City to drop some points and they didn't. But we've got to play them again before the season is done. We're going to win the league. I decided ages ago we're going to win the league. We have to win the league. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.